I'm Jillian.
And I'm Natasha. And this is Mental Mudslide.
Each episode, we slide down the slippery slopes of our minds. I've got some garden gummies, a head full of wild ideas, and zero filters.
And I'm here to ride that wave and see where our mental mudslides take us. It's all about fun, unexpected turns, and a deep dive into the wacky and wonderful.
Hi, Chili Bean. Happy Merry Motherfucking Christmas.
Hell yeah!
It's been a
I
minute, honey.
missed you, and I bet our mudslide mamas and daddies missed you too.
Oh, well, come see me. Why don't you come over tomorrow?
I will. I will hop on a plane tomorrow. I'll be right down, Miss Ma'am.
Yay. I know. I can't believe.
Hey, how about we go to the Flow Rider concert?
Oh, Eve. I'm okay. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's go to the Flow Rida concert.
Okay. All right. Sweet.
All right.
So you're saying I will be able to get you to the Flow Rider concert. Is that what you're saying?
Let's have the whole conversation, I guess. So,
I don't know if we talked about it on a past episode or not, but let's hear. I feel like we did. And you said absolutely not in a million years. Forget about it.
Well, yes. So the only thing that has changed is that it's free, and I will do anything for free, at least twice. Because my mom, one of my life mottos is do anything twice, and if you add free on it, it's like, why not? So
It's true. It's true.
if I can go do something with my bestie for free, let's do it.
I love it. I love it.
Oh man, I wonder if I'm gonna fit into the pants I thought I was gonna wear. It's been a week of deliciousness.
I'm gonna be one of those. I have a word I like to use it's kind of like, do you remember in Mean Girls? Did you watch Mean Girls? I know you don't watch a lot of TV, but did you watch Mean Girls?
Like the movie?
Where she tries to make fetch happen. It's like, stop trying to make
Fetch
happen.
yes.
It's not gonna happen.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have a word that I use all the time that I want to catch on, and it's not catching on.
Is that a hint?
But they're called yeah, kind of. Start using this word. It's called resolutionaries, right? So that when you go to the gym at the beginning, it's everybody who made a resolution. Those are the resolutionaries in the gym in January. They're all going to fall off. They're not going to stay there. Right now, I am kind of standing in the camp of being a resolutionary, but I'm not going to fall off. I don't think. Maybe we'll see. Because I'm starting a new diet in January, but not like on January 1st, because that's just setting yourself up for failure. Why would you start on the day that you're like hungover? Like, I don't understand.
Girl, well, that's so funny that you said that. I had a similar thought because I normally do New Year's resolutions. I almost never set resolutions. Actually, I don't think I've ever set a resolution. And for some reason, naturally, over the last 2 weeks, I've really started doing some self-discovery stuff and trying to kind of in this space where I want to kind of do some more self-discovery and self-improvement, evolution. What do you say when you're working on yourself? Your goal is to get better, but what is that?
A personal rebrand.
Personal growth. Yeah, I'm really into I have this concept of I really want to have some intentional personal growth. And so, but it just is coinciding with the end of the year. And I'm like, oh my God, that can be a New Year's resolution, right? So that's part of I just was oh my God, am I naturally doing a New Year's resolution and not realizing it? So now I'm going to have a New Year's resolution for self-growth this year, for personal growth this year. And then also, but to your point about don't start on January 1st, one of the things I'm going to start doing tomorrow is getting back on my regular food, diet, lifestyle, whatever. So my intentionality around eating healthy and well and all that stuff. So wellness, I guess. But I'm oh my gosh, but I'm going to start it tomorrow specifically because I didn't want to start on January 1st. So it's I've already been looking into this and kind of putting together a plan of some of the things that I want to work on and all that. And I'm let's just fucking do it tomorrow. why wait until the first? Because if I wait till the first, I'm gonna be like, oh, the first is a Wednesday and I have to go back to work tomorrow. Blah 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 blah. So I'm starting tomorrow, which is a couple of
I'm
days before the
starting
first.
I'm starting on the 4th because I'm traveling this week and
Mhm.
I'm going to be traveling a lot, but it's like why be traveling and starting something new, and it's just a lot. Like, but I will be traveling a lot and I intend to keep it up, but I didn't want to start something new when I'm traveling for such a short amount of time because I'm only going to be
Yeah.
down there to see you for a couple of days, and then I'm going to buy all that food and then come up here and, like, I mean, I'm flying, so it makes it a little bit harder to, tote your food around, although I could just put it all in a refrigerator,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, yeah.
Refrigerator bag.
I
It's
mean,
like any travel trip.
fair enough. I mean, it's not a long flight. I don't even think you need one. Like,
No, it's not.
it would go straight from your fridge to the next
I
fridge with like no time in between.
I I just meant the refrigerator bag, like
Oh,
whenever you go on a trip. But it's just
yeah.
like it's a lot of food. Like I just didn't want to deal with all the food and everything. So,
Yeah.
um yeah, so when I get back, then I'll have a day to get everything lined up, and then I am going super duper heavy on the fruits and veggies and kind of like almost like a gut microbiome like reset in a way. So I'm going to try
No.
and get rid of all refined stuff for a few weeks, and then after like a few weeks of like almost like a cleanse
Mhm.
of being like super duper good, then kind of transition back to adding a few more things and trying to keep it heavier on fruits and veggies. I did get my EpiPen, so this is good
Ooh,
news
yes.
before I embark on a fruit consuming mission here as we go into the new year.
Like, yeah. I love it. Hey, I saw, and I don't know if it's because like the smart devices in my home listen to me, but I got a commercial about these like monthly shots that people can take now for food allergies. And I thought of you because I wonder if it's like you could do like a 3 for 1. It could be like apples and grapes and gluten. Like I wonder like what it even works on, and also who wants to get a shot once a month. But what if you were allowed to have gluten again because of the shot or something? I don't know. So,
So I'm not banking on this. This isn't the reason that I'm doing this diet, but I've
mhm.
heard that if you just have a gluten sensitivity, which I would say I'm not celiac, and so I'm non-celiac gluten sensitive is what they officially call me.
Mm.
Um but I read that if you heal your gut microbiome, it can help like restore the mucosal lining of your gut, and then sometimes people can eat small amounts of gluten after going on a strict couple of months of like healing by not introducing anything and making sure that you have the right bacteria in your gut and all of that stuff.
Oh,
So
that's
who
amazing.
knows, maybe I'm already on that path.
Oh my gosh. Are you going to send a poop sample to one of those people and then give you like the
I really
probiotics that are
want to.
specific to your body? Yeah. That would be fancy.
Yes, I looked into that and it was like $130 for that test, and I was like, I should totally mail some poop in.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. I kind of think so.
Um, so I have something else to share, and you'll be a little bit excited about this, I think,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
Um, my gummy's kicking in. Yeah.
Wait, look, I have gummies too, but not the kind you have. They're just naughty Haribo ones from
Oh,
Target.
girl.
Yeah,
Every time I look at those, they just make me so mad
I
because
know.
you
I'm so
can't have
sorry.
them.
I'm so sorry. They're a Christmas gift. They're a stocking stuffer. So yeah. So mine are marijuana free. Is that how you would call them? They're just
Uh-huh.
candy. But so look, I'm having gummies with you. Well,
Ah,
since
like it.
your garden gummies are kicking in, I have a little story to share with you. A Christmas story, as
Okay,
a matter
let's
of
hear it.
fact. So this year, I only had one white elephant to go to. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
got super, super dressed up. I was very excited about it. I was feeling myself, thought it was adorable, had such a great time. And I went with a friend, so we were each other's dates. And the hostess of the party was talking to my friend, was like, "Hey, somebody defaced my baby Jesus last year." So this friend has like those, what are they? Are they called blow molds? I think they're blow molds, right? Like the old school
Yeah.
Christmas decorations that go
Yep.
outside, right? That are hard plastic, that are like puffed up. She
Yeah.
has Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, three independent, like from like mid-century modern times, kind of these three, right? She's got a mid-century modern home, and so these like blow molds kind of go with her house. And my friend was like, "I did not deface your baby Jesus." So they kind of got into this little, like, I wouldn't call it an argument, I would call it like a cute teasing kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
But so
Of course.
right, so the night's going on, we do the white elephant, there's fun presents and blah blah blah, and the night's coming to an end, everybody's had a lot to drink, somebody stole my white elephant gift. And I don't mean like during the game, I mean like when I went to leave, it had disappeared. And that actually happened to more than one person. So like, who knows, right? So there was some theft happening at this white
Mhm.
elephant. And so as we were leaving, my friend was like, "Oh, you know what, if I'm gonna get accused of doing something to baby Jesus, I'm gonna do something to baby Jesus this year."
Oh, goodness.
So
What became of baby Jesus?
well, so as our lift pulled up, we snatched the baby Jesus. So we kidnapped baby
Ooh.
Jesus. Yes.
You stole baby Jesus? Oh, you're definitely going to hell.
I know, between that and saying the Lord's name in the vein on the last pod, like, I think it's just, I'm 100% going down. But he was so cute. He looked like a little,
Probably.
like a little loaf of bread or something, adorable. So we took pictures of him in the lift. We get back to my place. We're taking pictures with him. My dog's taking pictures with him. We're tee hee hee giggling, all this, all is well, right? And so, and it was late, and we'd had way too much to drink, to be fair. So my friend passed out on the couch. I called her boyfriend to come pick her up. Like, so we didn't really get to like formally, like with our heads screwed on, like put together a game plan. But I thought we were going to have a game plan. Oh no.
Mhm.
Because in my head, what do you do when you steal a baby Jesus? What's like the logical next step?
You wait.
Yeah,
You
you
wait a little bit to find out what the drama is. You just stay quiet. You hold that baby Jesus and you hide it in, like, I don't know, the closet or something.
I love that
And
idea.
then
I love that idea.
maybe you go to the grocery store, or where I don't even know where you get one of these, like, I guess, like, Best Buy, and you get a burner phone and you take pictures and you
Yes.
text them
Yes. This
with
is what
the
I'm
baby
talking
Jesus, like,
about.
all over the place.
Holding the
Those type of
baby
activities,
Jesus
like,
random for ransom. Yes, hold
yes,
baby Jesus
ransom. You
for
gotta hang on to
ransom.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course,
What
like,
happened? If that
logical.
isn't what happened,
No,
what
ma'am.
actually happened?
I
Because,
wake
like,
up I
that's
w
the only thing I can imagine.
I wake up to a text from the hostess. Hostess
Oh, no.
says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Let's see, and this hostess, I know she doesn't have Ring. I know she doesn't have any cameras at her house. I know her. You know what I mean? She says to
Yeah.
me, she says, where is it? "What a blast. Oh my god, you looked blah, 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 okay, blah, 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 even though you were a co-conspirator and stealing my baby Jesus," and sends a
Oh,
picture to me of me kissing baby Jesus in my house.
in your house?
Yeah,
Oh,
my
and this is the absolute next morning. Like, there hasn't
it
even been any time for baby Jesus to go on an adventure.
no adventure. No, so, I mean, he got to go in a
Oh,
lift, and he got to, like, hang out at my house for the evening, but, oh my gosh,
yeah.
yeah, so this was 7:30 in the morning. I just pulled it back up. Text me at 7:30
Jeez.
in the morning. Bro,
What time did you leave the party the night before?
we let me see when this lift picture was taken. We left the party at 9. We're old,
So,
you know.
baby Jesus was not even away from the manger for 12 hours
No.
and your co-conspirator
Ratted
narked.
me out. Yes, a total snitch.
Oh,
Snitched.
that is that is crazy. That is like, why even steal it?
I know. That's what I said. Can you
Yeah.
believe? Can you
Oh,
believe?
wow.
I know. So then,
No, you
so
know what? I think we could have a lot of fun with a baby Jesus that we
I
stole. Like we
know
would find you would find baby Jesus, like we would be
oh,
making up
all the
mangers.
places,
We would
baby
go
Jesus
to
would
a
go.
crib store and put them in like different size
I
mangers
would
with like
think
different quotes, all from this burner phone that we bought
all the
at the
yeah,
Best Buy.
total missed opportunity. So at any rate, so my friend told her teenager who thought it was just the funniest thing ever. And then I told mine, and she was like, that's hilarious, blah, blah, blah. And she and I were out and about on Christmas Eve, like doing some shopping and stuff. And I drove past somebody's house who had like a manger set up. And I was like, oh, it would be funny if I go take a picture in the manger and like send it to my friend. And my daughter was like, no, you can't go in a stranger's yard and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, you know, I think it would be fun.
I
But
would have taken that picture
I
with
know.
you.
I think if the
It's
neighbors
gonna
had come
be, you know
out.
what? When we're in the same town, when we live in the same place again, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
I
crazy.
know, oh my God. But so then I get back, I'm like, fine, fine, fine. We won't like go to it. And then I was like, well, why don't we go visit the baby Jesus? Just do a wellness check.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea.
And also, I was kind of feeling guilty because then I found out more about the whole thing. Like, apparently, my friend caved because her phone started getting blown up like early in the morning by multiple people, by the host husband, and then two of um their shared friends, like people in the friend group were all like texting my friend and being like, hey, we know it was you, blah blah blah, like the hostess is getting upset, da 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 da. Like it was a whole thing. I know that they were all joking around, but also she said that they were like everyone was harassing her, so she caved. But so I was like, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a wellness check on baby Jesus. We're gonna sneak up to the hostess's house, take
Mhm.
pictures with the baby Jesus, but then, and not do anything to baby Jesus, just take pictures with baby Jesus, a few little poses, and then leave an I'm sorry I stole your baby Jesus gift like on the doorstep, and then like send her
Yeah.
pictures of like the pic of the gift at the door and of us with baby Jesus and saying, hey, just doing a wellness check and saying, hey, like here's an olive branch, sorry for being involved in the kidnapping, right? Like that kind of thing. So,
Totally understand. Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Fun.
so I get there with my daughter, can't find her house because all the lights are off and she lives like in the woods. So it took forever to find the house. We sneak up to the house because we like park like not in the driveway, but like in the neighborhood. Sneak up to her house. It's pitch
Right.
black. No baby Jesus.
Oh.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph had all been taken inside. I think the hostess was so like traumatized by the kidnapping of baby Jesus
Oh
that she
my
was just like,
gosh.
not leaving him
They'll
outside when I'm not
never
home anymore.
see
We'll never see baby Jesus again.
they'll never see the light. They'll never see the light of the Christmas star again, will they?
Well, you know what's funny about that? They have a 20-foot Christmas star in the field next to their house. That thing was lit up like a Christmas. It is giant. I would say at least 20 feet
I
tall.
actually
At least.
I actually
North
went
Star.
down a deep dive the other day. So I'm not religious, so I was like, "Wait, is the Christmas star just like the North Star? Like, what the
I
hell?
think
Like,
so. Is
what
it not?
happened?" I don't know. There was a lot of speculation. Maybe it was, but it was supposed to be an exceptionally bright star that only
Yes.
lasted for something. So it was like, is it a supernova? Is it this? Is it that? Basically, everything I read, everyone was like, "Yeah, that doesn't make any sense," and nobody had an answer. So I was like, "Okay, cool." That's good enough for me. And I just let it go. But I did
Oh
have to
man.
look it up and I
Well,
didn't
because
know.
it
So
was the guide to Jesus or something, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah.
right, yeah, it's what
So
the wise
they
men
followed
like
that shit.
followed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, so
Yep.
I will send you the picture of the baby Jesus in the Uber, the picture that got sent to me by the
Nice.
hostess, not even by the person who took it, but by the hostess. And then the picture of me leaving the gift on the door because it was pitch black with no Christmas lights or baby Jesus out front from the wellness check. So yeah. So
Gotcha.
that's my Christmas story for 2024.
I I love it. I don't have any crazy Christmas stories. My Santa bar crawl got canceled by the event organizers, and my goal was that day I was going to do street interviews as like sexy Miss Santa, right? And
Yes.
so that all got canceled. So no street interviews for me. And then for actual Christmas, I did something a little fun with my kids this year. So I came up with a 4-day schedule of events.
Hmm.
So we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I planned breakfast, lunch, dinner, um, activities to include painting, like Christmas painting, Christmas crafts. I had board game time. We had movies picked out for each day with a corresponding cocktail to go with each
For the
movie.
kids. Okay.
And I designed it. Well, they had mocktails, okay? But I designed it all in Canva so it looks like a professional, like amazing 4-day menu of
Mm,
activities and stuff.
that's so cute.
And I just dove all the way in. I was like, you know what? This has been a year of uncertainty and flux, and I don't exactly like I have obviously my business, but I don't have like a full-time job right now. And I was like, my full-time job for the next week is to make Christmas a December to remember. Brought to you by
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, that isn't that like Lexus or Audi? I don't even know. Anyway, um so I did. I came up with all of that stuff. But then as I was wrapping their presents, I was like, they're going to guess right away what theirs is when they see that the tag is for them. So I just wrote a whole bunch of different random ass numbers on the packages. So like one package was number 7 and one package was like 12,159 and like all the numbers in between. Just
Yeah.
randomly wrote numbers
Yep.
and then I made clues for each number
Hmm.
and then I would put so like if Mr. Jillian's present was number 7, I was like, James Bond or something like that, right?
Hmm.
007. And
Hmm.
then you would pull out a tag and it would say Mr. Jillian and then it would have the clue. And then once you figured out your clue, then you could go under the tree and find that present.
Cute.
So our presents ended up taking like a good amount of time, which was super fun.
Aw, that's so fun. Did they love it?
They did. They did. Yeah. I think everybody really liked it. So yeah.
Mhm.
It was a fun time. Like Santa brought us temporary tattoos, so we put them on.
What am I looking at? I can't tell.
It's a Christmas tree tattoo.
There's just like a blur.
Oh, it's like a little Christmas tree.
Oh, you have your first tattoo, Jillian.
I gave Mr. Jillian a tramp stamp. I
Mm.
gave myself like a knee tattoo. Yeah, I have like a little tattoo right here off my knee. It's stocking.
Love it. Oh, well, yeah.
The
I mean, that's
dogs
what they're
got a
for.
temporary tattoo. Everybody had one.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Well, I recall I was having a rough day last weekend, and one of your planned days, you actually got to hang out with Cherry. And
Oh, yes.
you girls called me and you were having an amazing time. And you were all dressed up like an elf and Santa, or I guess not Santa, Mrs. Claus. So
Sexy Mrs.
how did the
Claus.
day go? How did the day go?
Yes, yes. So Cherry came over for breakfast mimosa bar and like breakfast. We had breakfast planned out. And then we were supposed to, I think, do board games. And we never really got to the board games because we got to the bottom of like 4 bottles of champagne. And then at like Cherry showed up in an elf outfit. And so she's like, "Go put on your stuff." I was like, "This is a pajama party. Okay, Cherry? Pajama party." No, so then I went and I put on my little sexy Santa outfit, and we took some photos and just kind of like hung out and had fun and
So
had some
cute.
cocktails, and we ended up watching, I think, a Christmas movie or two.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember a lot from that day, I gotta be honest.
Did you get any T. Hanks in?
The Polar Express, we watched the Polar Express over Christmas, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Where were
We
you on your
had
list?
so we watched, yeah, we're not that far. I feel like this is a joint effort between Mr. Jillian and I, and
Ah, okay.
so,
That makes sense.
like, I feel like if I watch a show without him, and because we're not in the same state a lot, I think it's gonna take a little bit.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
That's cute. I
yeah.
like that. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, yeah, but we watched Violent Night, which is a like a Santa horror film. Like, it's like
Mhm.
Die Hard, like a bunch of people die. It's very gory.
Mhm.
It's like a Die Hard but with Santa,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yep.
I don't know. Anyway, um and I was like, "Yeah, we'll watch this and we'll have Oh Gory Night cocktails,"
Mhm.
which are way stronger than I anticipated them to be. And we were about halfway through the movie, and I was like, "We watched this last year." I totally forgot that I had seen this movie before. I was like, "Who would watch something like this? This is crazy. We're gonna do it." And then I was like, "Oh wait, I've already seen it.
You could have watched
I forgot."
Krampus instead. I like Krampus. I think it's cute. It's sorta scary.
We watched that too.
That's
We
a good
did
one.
watch that.
That's a fun one.
Yeah,
I like that
it
one.
is.
It's not scary, but it is scary. Like it's like little kid. You know what it reminds me of? Like maybe Goosebumps or not Goosebumps. What's the other one with the Crypt Keeper? Like something Crypt Keepery. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, Tales from the
Thank
Crypt.
you. Yes. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
just forgot. Oh my gosh. Tales from the Crypt just reminded me that I had a celebrity crush that I forgot about.
Tell me more.
I had a crush on Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Billy
So
Zane.
I
Billy Zane. Is that
in in this he was in a one of the Crypt Keeper movies, one of the Tales from the Crypt movies, but he was also in the Titanic. He was the asshole fiance in the Titanic, which I did not like him then once I saw
Yes.
him in that movie. I didn't like him anymore. But oh my god, when he was like the devil or something, girl. Oh, Mr. Billy Zane. Yeah, I need to see that movie again. It's probably terrible, but he was hot in that movie.
Apparently he was also in Zoolander, which I don't know. I know him from Titanic, from being the asshole guy in Titanic,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's what I know him from. Yeah.
Oh, Billy Zane, where
Huh.
are you today? He better stay alive, Jillian. He better stay alive.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right, everybody,
Uh-oh.
everybody, send warm wishes and well wishes to Billy Zane right now.
Yeah, probably good. Probably good. We haven't talked about him for a while.
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly. Because he just
he
came
is
to mind.
58 years old.
Good.
That's how old he is.
Okay,
Okay.
great, great, great. All right, Titanic,
Yeah.
The Phantom. Oh, he was the Phantom. He was in the Back to the Future.
What?
What?
As what?
He was in Tombstone? How do I not know this? Because Tombstone is one of my favorite movies of all time. Demon Knight is the Crypt Keeper movie that he was in that I fell in love with him in as a kid. Yes, Billy.
I am very curious who was he in? Oh, he's just one of the bullies. He was just one of the bullies that hung out with Biff in the diner.
Oh, okay. Well,
His name was Match.
who was he in
So,
Tombstone? Oh, God. That's another movie that I had a huge crush on. Doc Holliday. Oh my gosh. I wanted him to be my Huckleberry so bad. I don't know if you know what that means, but I don't know a lot of like movie lines, but that movie has a bunch that I know, and that's one of them. And he was like, I'm your Huckleberry. And I'm like, yeah, you are. It came out in 93. So I was like 11 and I was like in love.
like, I'm totally digging my kids are kind of at the age where I feel like I can have them watch nostalgic movies with me. Um, but what I've noticed so far
Mhm.
is that these nostalgic movies that I feel like I watched when I was, like, 8, 9, 10 years old,
Mhm.
um, are not really appropriate for 8, 9, and 10-year-olds.
Yeah, you see, yes, but no. Like, when they're 8 and 9, of course they can see that. It's not like they're gonna get the parts that are not appropriate for them. Oh, yeah, no, but, like, yeah, I like, people are, like, more and more protective of what their kids see, and I feel like I saw so much stuff movies-wise when I was a kid, and
Mhm.
it's fine. Like, we were talking about that Janet Jackson song that I learned when I was, like, 11
Right,
and 12. Like, I didn't know what I was saying then. Like, it just goes what you don't know just goes over your head, right? Or you make different associations. You think it's talking about a knight wearing white satin,
right,
right? Like, that kind of thing.
right.
So
I totally get that, but I will say kids are smarter now. I feel like they have more exposure so that jokes hit differently. I feel like yes, kids are definitely smarter. They have access to more information constantly. I'm not saying
okay.
that they are
Well, then if they
straight smarter or smarter to figure it out. So like
sure.
they have a bigger frame of reference. So the
Mhm.
jokes actually are now inappropriate around the
Well,
kids.
then they
Like it's
already know
they
it.
know enough for it to not go.
Well,
Yeah, I
but then they already
guess.
know
But
it.
then it
So,
gets
like,
crude.
well, I guess it
But
depends on what
see,
it is, right? Like, I guess it depends on what it is, but
yeah.
I feel like are you thinking of something in
If
particular, like a specific movie or a specific, like, thing?
so we watched The Big Bang Theory with them.
Mhm,
There's lots of movies, but even just like all of the how like the movies at Halloween
mhm,
very often like a I don't know, like a common storyline
mhm.
seems to be that there has to be a virgin who blesses something or a virgin's blood goes into some potion or something. And this was in like was that like Hocus Pocus or something? Where they say
Yeah.
like virgin like 900 million times. I remember the first time I watched that with them, well before they were like old enough, and I was just like, oh my God, that's the word that they're gonna like repeat
Well, yeah, but I
nonstop,
mean,
not
they talk
knowing.
about virgins at
But
church all the time. Like, the Virgin Mary is, like, part of Christmas. Like, the word
well,
virgin's
my
fine.
kids don't get exposed to that either.
Well, I'm just saying, like, virgin's not a bad word or, like, a bad thing for them to know
It's
about,
not
is it?
no, it just pushes more of that conversation to the forefront of their minds. I'm saying, like, if you watch too much of it, like,
Mhm.
if they have the frame of reference, then now the jokes aren't going over their head. So now they're getting exposed to an onslaught of sex talk constantly. Or
Oh, you're
like
thinking of just,
the
like,
jokes
sexual
are a
stuff in
little too
particular.
crude.
Got it.
Yeah, mostly sex things in particular are the things that are like so Big Bang Theory
Mhm.
if my kids me at that like if I watched it at the same age of my kids, all of the jokes would have went over my head. They did not go over my kids' head, and so it became like, "Whoa, holy shit!" Like maybe that's not appropriate, or that joke was only okay 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah, but I mean, if it didn't go over their heads, you're not exposing them to something new inappropriately. They already know it, you know?
That's not true. That's not true. You could know what it's referencing, and now you have a branch off of that where it's like an inappropriate advance. So, like, you may know what sex
Sure.
is, and you know the components of it,
Mhm.
but you may not know that you could make this backhanded joke about somebody or,
I see.
something else. So you kind of get like a clearer picture if you have a frame of reference.
Got
Like
it.
once you know the joke,
Mhm.
now your exposure starts to kind of creep out from there as
Sure.
opposed to
Yeah.
just going over your
But
head.
would you rather them
Yeah.
be exposed to that with you there or them just figuring it out on their own, like those things? Because then at least you could say,
Well,
"Oh, that joke is not appropriate," or,
and that conversation had to happen a lot more
Mhm.
than yeah, it just like a lot of those jokes just aren't available in the media that is made today. Like
Oh,
sex
okay.
jokes were insane in older shows. Like you go back and you
Yeah, there's a
watch
lot.
in fact, like Indiana Jones, I believe, is rated like PG-13,
Mhm.
but that was based on the rating system at the time,
Mhm.
and now it's rated R.
Okay. Do you feel
Yeah,
like
so, like
there was a very I don't mean overall, because I think, like, you get into different things about media, but, like, in those kinds of movies, do you think that there was a negative impact on, like, you from being exposed to it? There are ones that I feel like was not great. Pop culture stuff that was on, like, TV, like, around,
yeah,
what is it called? Paparazzi stuff, and then, like, some of the, like, fully explicit content of, like, the 90s and early 2000s and stuff, um, could be pretty intense and in your face kind of a thing, right? Like,
yeah.
I am wondering though, like in Indiana Jones, was it like so overt that you feel like that would be like, do you feel that that impacted you, like Indiana Jones stuff?
No, so I was actually not allowed to watch very much stuff,
Mhm.
so I don't know that I watched a lot, but I never watched anything scary, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never really watched anything scary when I was younger, and then, I mean, this whole kind of, like, connection to the past is very, very, like, weird for me.
Hmm.
Like, one of the things I feel like we had, in fact, Natasha, I wanted to make an entire, like, campaign, podcast, something
Hmm.
around asking my childhood specific things. And what do I mean by that? I actually asked my mom if I could have my set of encyclopedias that I grew up with, and I have them right here in this house right now.
No, you
Um,
don't. That's so cool.
I do. I have, like, my 1980s encyclopedias, like, late 80s, early 90s,
Amazing.
and here's the thing, like, if I said, "I wanna know everything that I could find out about jellyfish right now,"
Hmm.
and then I go down and I look at the encyclopedia and I'm
Hmm.
like, "This is everything I get to know about jellyfish."
Right.
Whereas if my children are like, uh, does a jellyfish have, you know, colored blood or something? They could probably go find that, whereas my encyclopedia wouldn't have ever answered that.
Right.
So the amount of access that the amount of knowledge that kids today have access to
Hmm.
versus us makes any past generation, like, less educated automatically, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, God, I hope that continues to happen. I think that's how humans have evolved. Hopefully we're smarter than the caveman. The one
Well,
caveman, not one.
totally, but one of the issues is now we're at the point where I think that there might be a big shift, right? Especially with the onslaught of AI.
Mhm.
But where kids don't know how to wonder about things because they have instant gratification. And so there's, like, this whole part of learning that is completely, like,
Mhm.
deducing things and, like, that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. That's
Yeah.
an interesting evolution for sure.
Imagination and creativity, the impacts there. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I heard something else about like how handwriting, not only just the quality of what it looks like, but the value and
Gosh,
impact
it's
to your cognitive process has changed significantly. Like your eye hand coordination has been severely impacted by that, and then just different other motor skills, and like apparently like the act of writing something, and the way that your
yep.
brain processes memory has a significant like correlation, and so like kids are not retaining the same kind of information as they used to be able to, and they think some of that has to do with not having like that motor function that's tied to it, and then also
Mhm.
technically you have all knowledge in your phone, so if you have a phone, why do you need a brain, right? Like you just rely on your phone for everything,
Right?
so it's like I don't
Exactly.
even need to remember, I just need to remember how to use my phone and then get the answer there.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
I had an
But
encyclopedia from the late 80s early 90s also. I loved it.
yeah,
Yeah, I always thought they were so
you
pretty.
had an encyclopedia?
Like the whole yeah, just the whole thing, yeah, an
The
encyclopedia,
whole set. The
the whole
whole
set.
set. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's time for confession, Natasha.
Oh god, did you have some twin snakes?
No?
Oh,
No,
okay.
this has to do with encyclopedias.
Oh gosh, okay. An encyclopedia confession. Oh my. Do tell, do tell.
I do. Okay, so, I had a little fling with this young man, and when I say young man, well over right? Well over age. But definitely putting me in cougar territory, okay?
Oh my gosh.
So, I was, I think, 13 years older than him. Wait,
Wow.
he was 25, and, he came over to my house.
Mhm. Oh god.
And I was like, "Oh, here's the tour of my house." And when we walked into the room with the encyclopedias, he he went up to him and said, "Whoa, this is so cool. It's just like a law office. These books are like law books." He had no idea what they were. I was like, "You put my childhood down."
Oh, honey. It's like a payphone. You should have been like, "Let me take you to a payphone."
Crazy. Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
crazy.
gosh. That is hilarious. Oh, you said like I took him on a tour of my house, and I just realized I don't think I typically take people on a tour of my house, like when they come over. I don't know if oh my
Is that a weird thing to take people on a
no,
tour of your house? I don't
no,
I feel
weird
like
thing that I
people want to
haven't.
see my house. When they get to my house, like, people are like, "What the fuck? Let me go on a tour of this house."
If you were my best friend, I would not care. I would not have asked to like gone on a tour or anything. Like for me, because we're friends, I'm like so excited that you got a new house, right? So like the first time I come over, I want to be like, show me the baseboards, like show me everything, right? Like I'm very excited for you,
Mhm.
right? But like I would never have even have thought to. I think it's very common for people to take people on a tour of their house.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
think most
common.
people yeah,
Like,
I think
this is
so.
where the bathroom is. That like go ahead and just show me where everything. I I don't think I've ever like proactively said, "Let me show you my house." I'm like, "Come on in."
You know,
Like,
I ask
like
people,
here you
"Do
are.
you wanna take a tour?" But,
Oh,
like,
okay.
who's gonna say, "No. No,
Oh,
no.
that's fair.
Nah, thanks. Nah, thanks,
That's
I'm not
fair.
gonna go." But I will ask. I'll be like, you wanna go on a tour? Let's go. Let's go. Let me show you around. Let me show you this house." Do you have a bottle of water? It's a long trip.
Girl, you know I'm not a
No, I'm just kidding.
hostess. I'm not a hostess. I am such a like fend for yourself. Like every man for himself. You need to be independent. Figure it out. Well, what else has been going on with you, my dear?
Just keep on keeping on. I'm putting together some classes.
Mm.
I yeah, I'll be teaching a bunch of classes here coming up in the new year. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. I'm excited about moving stuff. I'm
Yep.
going to start moving some truckloads of junk down there to New Mexico.
Yes. You know what? I do want to share with you something vulnerable. I think I've told you I've had like a short person complex. Like I've always felt short. So like because my family's so for those of you who don't know, I'm about 5'9", which I guess is tall for a woman, but I've always been the shortest person in my family. Shortest woman, and then definitely the men are just like significantly taller, but all the women, even my grandma, taller than me, right? So I've always had this like short person complex. But I haven't really thought about it a lot too much lately because like I live in New Mexico and everybody here is shorter than me. So I think my like short person complex is kind of like evened out a little bit. But um my daughter's in town for the holiday break and she is taller than me now.
Oh,
And so this complex has just come back for me.
my son, who is 13, is
Mhm.
also taller than me now, officially. I just took him. in for like his annual checkup, and I was like,
Mhm.
damn it, don't tell him that, because I am also almost 5'9". I am
Mhm.
5'8 3/4". So and he is officially now 5'9". So and they're
Mhm.
expecting him to be 6'2". Do you know how tall your daughter is expected to be? I mean, she's kind of closer, right? To being done growing.
Neither of my kids have been given expected heights. Is this a thing? Like,
Oh,
why would what would be the point of that even? Like, why do
I
they do
don't
that?
know, but I've always like every checkup, it's like, oh, according to our chart, like we should be expecting
Mm-mm.
on my oldest between 6'2" and 6'6",
Mhm.
and my youngest between 5'11" and 6'2" is what we were seeing, but
Mhm.
he has actually dropped down a little bit, but we think he's going to have kind of a late little growth spurt, because like he now is looking at more like a 5'10".
Mhm. Yeah.
But maybe he'll get back up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never had a doctor tell me any kind of even percentiles, except for like development ones as far as like
Oh.
motor skills. I've gotten those kinds of things like motor skills and like cognitive, but none of them have ever told me an estimated height for my kids.
Oh, I get height and weight percentiles at every appointment.
I
You
was
know what
95.
thing I
I,
don't have? And I am upset by this. I'm upset that I don't know this, but I also don't want to pay for it. Like I probably could, but you don't find out your child's blood type anymore. They don't type kids.
I
They
didn't even
don't
think about
they
that.
don't
Yeah,
like
you're
do
right.
a blood type check. And I'm like, so you just don't know your blood type?
I think
Like
that's
that's really
hilarious that they'll
weird.
tell you how tall they might be, which is a guess, versus this is the blood type of your child. That's now that's wild, right? Like
Well, I guess
a factoid I actually technically don't really need, versus one that might be like life saving critical to know.
life saving. Yeah.
Like, so
I was just thinking
mhm.
that, I mean, if the apocalypse comes, it would be nice to know what everyone's blood types for.
Yeah, I don't know mine, but that's probably just because I forgot it. I'm
You don't know your blood type?
no.
Hey, you'll not be surprised by this, but I am an A plus, an A positive.
Well, I shouldn't say I don't know. It's not like no one's ever. I've been told. I just didn't save it in my brain, and I didn't put it in my phone, so I'm screwed. I'm sure I'll find it out
Well,
at some
so
point.
my mom told my sister and I that one of us was an A positive and one of us was an O. And then my sister found out that she was A positive. So I was like, oh, I must be an O. And then I found out that that was incorrect. I was also an A positive. We are both A positives. So my mom gave me inaccurate information anyway.
I've been told by a doctor. I just didn't store it in the noggin. My mom has a really whatever the like most desired blood type is. She has the O negative,
Check it
O
out.
O something.
AB positive.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
We're really looking forward to 2025 with all of you mudslide mamas and daddies. See you in the new year.
New year.
What?
Bye.
Bye. You know what? It's time for 2025.
Deuces 2024. Smell you later, alligator.